Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for clicking into this video. I so much appreciate that. We're going to be getting into a collective reading for Pluto going into retrograde today, and it's retrograded into Aquarius. It's going to be moving into Capricorn, I think June 10th. But basically, Pluto's going to be making this retrograde transition up until October. October 10th this year. So it's going to be a little while. And the big thing that is with this energy is an evaluation of yourself. Okay. What everybody, the collective, is going to be going through is evaluating your own habits, evaluating mistakes that you've made in the past, really evaluating things to jump into the next after after it goes direct. Now, generally, what I find with retrogrades, everything happens for a reason. So it's kind of like that pause before your next, that pause before you get onto another journey that's going to have to require you to look at your past and your past mistakes and your past failures. Or if you don't, I don't like to call them failures, I like to call them lessons learned. Because there's going to be an opportunity after Pluto goes back direct in October, which is going to be just in time during that fall harvest time. Okay, so this is going to be a 4-part reading. The first part, I'm going to be using my Dreams of Gaia deck, where we're going to be looking at, the planetary alignment, what this energy is, how it's like the energy itself. Then we're going to be looking into intuition and emotions, how you're going to be handling things emotionally. We're going to look into the mental part, how you're going to be processing all of this mentally. And then we're going to look into advice. And this is a part 1 because we're going to be doing a week by week. So it started today on Monday. We're going to be looking at part 2 next Monday. Okay. So let's go ahead and dig deep into here. Pluto retrograde. Okay. So the first thing that we want to look into is at the base of the deck, we have the crone. Oh, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So the crone is the first card. This is wisdom. Okay. The crone is by herself. It's represented by a woman that is wise, has experience, not necessarily, and doesn't have any baggage on her. And that's represented by, children, really. And it doesn't represent you as a woman or anything, but this is basically the journey, your experiences, and what wisdom that you've taken from it, right? We have the 5 of Earth, the losses that you've taken, the temptation that you have gone after in the past. We have the Queen of Earth, so the stability piece, your successes. We have the Counselor, which is you giving of your wisdom and advice. So basically the basis, especially going into this week from now until Monday in this energy, is evaluating your losses, your gains, what you did that was successful, what you did that was not successful, how you would change things in the past if you could. Because these realizations are going to be very important moving on to the future. In the Sender energy, we have the Central, which is the number 12. So this talks about something coming. And remember when I said, especially when we have a big retrograde like that, you're needing to look in the past. You're needing to look at your successes and your failures. And the reason is because when the retrograde when Pluto goes back direct, there's going to be something that you're going to have to do. There's going to be a journey that you're going to have to take, and there's going to be something that comes into you, that comes for you, that you're going to need to not make the same mistakes, but not only not make the same mistakes, but also utilize your strengths, probably utilize the strengths of people around you, because we have a few court cards here. And that's the energy. That's why this retrograde is so important. In the past, knowledge upside down, there were things that you didn't know, right? And probably led to some mistakes, probably led to some dips in your life just off of not knowing something. Right now, we're in the 7 of water. So looking at the options of what you had, looking at the decisions that you made, things that looked really shiny, but they might have been just glitter, they might not have been gold. Knowing to, like, looking into the illusions, the illusion piece here, okay? In the near future, we have the Ace of Fire upside down. So there may be something, there may be a test right now with you, that there may be something that you aren't supposed to go for, aren't supposed to get, and something that doesn't necessarily work out, but it's a model of, it's basically a test, as far as it's a repeat of something that has happened in the past. You don't make the same mistake that you made in the past. You, like, if you get something, especially with this central energy, which in the regular tarot deck and the traditional tarot deck is the Knight of Earth, you may get an opportunity of some kind, and maybe in the past you may have done something with that opportunity, but you're doing something different now. You're not being impulsive. It's very important. And in the future, ultimately, we have the 8 of Fire upside down, along with the King of Fire upside down. Lots of fire. So we move through earth energy, which is stability. And then we go into the water energy, which is intuition. And then we go into the fire energy, which is passion. And I always say passion is emotion in action. When it's passion is about doing something, but it's something that is emotionally fueled, like you can feel it, right? So there's some information or something that doesn't come through about a King of Fire. I think that this Ace of Fire upside down, this opportunity that doesn't happen because it may be some sort of an illusion, and ultimately it's because there's some sort of information that's not coming in about a King of Fire. King of Fire represents somebody who gets what they want, does, they see something that they want and they go and they get it and they achieve that goal. Very successful at achieving goals, at achieving passions. But it's like a knowledge of there's not enough information. And remember that also this week we're still in Mercury retrograde, so that's completely normal. We're starting the Pluto retrograde during Mercury retrograde. So Mercury retrograde is all about not having enough information, not wanting to sign off on anything really, wanting to really think things through, but not make commitments to what you're thinking or any idea. So there's some wisdom here about not signing on to something. That's very important with this Pluto retrograde. Now, what fell out? We have the 6 of Water upside down. So memories, needing to go back in the past, remember things. There's a need for that because it's upside down. So there's a lack thereof, or some of you may be having a lack thereof of remembering something in the past, or you are stuck in the past. Then we have 3 of Water, and that's that creativity. That's passing through something. In this deck, it means passing through something. being able to pass through whatever you're stuck in. And then we have the sage, which is wisdom. Again, we're talking about wisdom. We're talking about mastery upon that wisdom. And then we have the 10 of fire upside down, not finishing something. There may be something that you want to finish out, but you need to realize that you need to just leave it alone. You really want to finish it out, and this is just collective energy. So for all of you, it's going to be a little bit different. It could be anything that you're passionate about, but you're realizing, I think the efforts are kind of wasted because it's not the first time. It's not your first go around. It's not the first time that you've done this. You move from the queen energy into the king energy when you make this decision, which means you go to the ultimate level of, well, almost ultimate level of mastering your passions, mastering what you're passionate about, mastering, as far as, like, let's say you were going to get a car and maybe you wanted a luxury car, but you got a luxury car before. And then, you had the money, you got it, but you couldn't maintain that car. You get what I'm saying? So mastering the passion piece of what you go after. Okay. Mastering that. Being wiser with your resources. Spirit is giving resources of some kind to see what you're going to do with it. It's a test. Are you going to make the same mistake that you did before? Or are you going to be wiser about what you have? And that's coming in, that's starting to come in this week. Okay. So now we're going to go into the second part of the reading, and this is going to be when we're talking about the emotions. And as far as emotions, that's your intuition, and that's going to be with your higher self. How is the general higher self for the collective going to be guiding them? So at the base, we're here at the 10 of Wands. The 10 is talking about finishing out a cycle. Finishing out a cycle with something in the 6 of Cups. So we have these cards once again. Remember, they fell out together at the first part when we were talking about Pluto and the Pluto energy. As far as Pluto is sending something. Now, it's not going to come in very fast because we've got Earth energy on it. It may be on its way to you, but I don't know if it's going to get to you this week. It may get to you this month in May. Okay. Now, 10 of Wands, when we're talking about how your higher self is generally like the general guide for this, because this is not a specific reading for just one person. This is a general reading. So we have the 10 of Wands, and then we also have the 6 of Cups. So this talks about finishing out some sort of burden, some sort of emotional burden that happened in the past. This may be finishing out a burden that has to deal with your childhood or your early adulthood. And it has to deal with the connection that you have with somebody. And it could have been a negative connection. It could have been a good connection. But maybe if it was a parent, maybe you got spoiled a little bit. And when I say spoiled, I mean like maybe your parent, even though they didn't mean anything bad by it, maybe they gave you everything that you wanted because they didn't get it when they were growing up. And then you have some sort of bad habits that came from that. Maybe it might be, or it could be some sort of trauma, you know what I mean? It could be some sort of experience. Maybe you moved when you were younger and you had to leave all your friends and it impacted you. There's a lot that this could be, but it's some sort of emotional baggage when it comes to connection, past connection that you had, whether that's in your childhood or in your early adulthood. Yeah. That's the basis of what your spirit of what your higher self is guiding you through right now. So based on that, we have the Nine of Swords upside down, the Five of Pentacles, and the Fool upside down. So this baggage is preventing you from taking a chance somewhere. Nine of Swords talks about anxiety, and when it's upside down, it's major anxiety. You know what I mean? It's major, major, major anxiety and nightmare and mental stress, all of that. You're afraid. It's fear. Five of Pentacles. It's a fear of a loss. This is something with stability here. So this connection was very crucial to you. It was very, very crucial. It wasn't just somebody who you might have saw every now and then. It could have been somebody that you might have seen, you might have would have saw every day, but it's some sort of a loss. Okay. And that is preventing you with the Fool upside down from taking a chance on something. The Fool upside down. Being very calculated when it comes to your relationships. In the recent past, we have the Sun, and then we have the Knight of Cups upside down. Something didn't come through. An offer of some kind, an emotional offer didn't come through. That was organized. You were going to be experiencing this loss of some kind. You had to. You had to experience this loss, this Knight of Cups upside down, so that it can shine light on this, on what you had, as far as, I don't want to say necessary. For some of you, it's going to be abandonment issues. But it could be a loss. I mean, it has something to deal with abandonment issues. And this Knight of Cups, even though it was so wanted to come in, it didn't come in, so that you can reflect on that. Sun can be put on that. And it may be something that you really didn't know that you had. You know what I mean? And that needed to be taken care of because it was getting in the way of your life. Now we're at the Ace of Swords. Now you know. And you're working on a new mindset. You're at a new mindset like, oh, whoa, I didn't know I had this. Now I need to do what I need to do to fix it. You got a different mindset now. This person, whoever it was in the recent past, this is not somebody, I don't really feel like this is somebody that you grew up with or from your childhood, but they did, the loss of this person, or the fact that this person did not make an offer to you of some kind emotionally, whether that's, an offer for some, it's an offer for some sort of relationship. Okay. It doesn't just have to be romantic. It can be, it's something emotional though. So for a lot of you, it will be romantic. It could be friendship. It could be something with family, whatever it is. It's an emotional offer and it didn't happen. And there was an expectation for it because you felt like you needed it. And that's the Ace of Swords here, which is the truth. You didn't necessarily need it. You're still surviving. You're still living. You know what I mean? And you're in pain. And there's pain, there's fear and everything. But now is the healing piece. Your mind is at, okay, I'm ready to heal this. In the near future, we have the Empress along with the Ten of Swords upside down. Interesting combination. The Empress talks about creation. It's also representative of a mother, but it represents creation, creating something, building something. And the Ten of Swords upside down is a betrayal. It's ending a cycle, feeling very much betrayed. This is coming in this week. And this has to deal with this. The base of this is whatever connection that you had from your past. For a lot of you, it's going to be your mother, possibly. It could be a mother, aunt, or a prominent female figure. And there was a big betrayal here. Now, the Empress is right side up. So I don't necessarily see that this Empress is the one that she didn't try to betray you. I don't think so. But there's some sort of there's a 10 of Swords here upside down. Something ended with feeling betrayed of some kind. Ultimately, we have the 7 of Swords upside down and the Knight of Pentacles upside down. So this is hiding some sort of offer here. This is hiding some sort of stable offer. This offer is not coming. Now, this is a different offer. The past offer that didn't come in, this was completely romantic, emotional. This is just for a relationship. This Knight of Pentacles, it could be about, it could possibly be about money, but it's something that is stable. It's something that's very, very, very much stable. And it's being hidden with the 7 of Swords. It's either being hidden or it's being lied about. But I'm feeling the energy that it's hidden. Maybe this is an offer that should have came in that didn't. Maybe somebody hid it. Like, it could be something as simple as maybe like a letter or something that somebody took, an email that somebody deleted, a text message that somebody deleted or whatever. But there's something that was supposed to come to you and it got blocked, which we see ultimately with the 8 of Fire and the King of Fire. Something, information is supposed to be coming in and it gets blocked. This is for this week. And it has to deal with this Empress. Whoever that Empress is to you. You could be the Empress and maybe you're the one that's trying to give something and then it doesn't, somebody blocks it. But I'm feeling for the most part, a lot of you, this Empress is trying to give something and try to give some sort of information. And it's blocked. And this is the ultimate result for this week. Of course, next week we'll be looking into how that energy kind of matures. But for this week with Pluto retrograde, that's a big thing. And I feel like this Empress, she might be, she's some sort of prominent role, feminine role for your childhood. Okay. So now we're going to be looking, and that's your intuition. You can feel that. You're going to feel that. Intuitively, you're going to know. So now we're going to be looking into your mental space and how you're mentally processing everything. So we have a Wheel of Fortune upside down. Something, something not working out. Bad luck. This is the base of your mind. I'm hearing, are you bad luck? Is something wrong with you? What's going on with you? These questions, that's where your mind is coming. We have the 10 of Cups upside down because the house is not happy. There's an unhappiness. Now, this is an aspect of your life. This isn't your whole life, but it's an aspect. And this is what Pluto retrograde is coming into, is looking into the pieces that need to be healed within yourself so that you can make better habits. You can have a lot of things, but just these things. In the recent past, the Chariot, I feel like an energy kind of like you're moving forward fast in life And that may be why you haven't been able to like look at these pieces within yourself, because things have been moving fast in your life. You're busy. There's a lot on your mind. Currently 7 of Cups. So we have 7 of Cups again in the same position. Illusions. Not being illusioned anymore. Things are clear when it comes to your emotions. Things are clear when it comes to why things happened. Something makes sense. Something from the past that didn't make sense now makes sense currently. And it doesn't just make sense on one side. You look at, okay, this person was wrong for this, but they were right for that. I was wrong for this, but then I was right for this. That person was, it's like you see a situation, but you see it from the outside instead of being in the situation, which is important. Things are clear. In the near future, we have the Queen of Pentacles here, a stable figure, probably connected with this Empress. This could be as far as with your intuition, this Empress energy. For some of you, for some of you are this Empress and you got betrayed and hurt. You get intuitive messages about this. Some of you may have hurt the Empress, but I think for the people that I'm watching, a lot of you guys are the ones that did get hurt. But you came out on top, Queen of Pentacles. Even in the situation, it may not have been perfect for you, but you did come out on top because this is a stable card. You have resources. That's the thing. She has the resources. So whoever hurt you or whoever betrayed you, you're the one with the resources. The Empress energy. Okay. And then ultimately we have the 7 of Wands along with the 3 of Pentacles. 7 and 3 is 10. 7 points for passion, 3 points for stability here. 7 of Wands talks about being in the defense, defending something that you have, and that's that 3 of Pentacles. That's the mind state that you're going to be in at the end of this week with the Pluto retrograde. You're going to be defending something, and that something has to deal with something working together with some people, possibly working on something, mastering something. A lot of you, it is going to be in a group, because 3 of Pentacles talks about being in a group. And everybody in the group is a master at something or mastering something. So now we're going to go into the last part of the reading. And this is going to be how all of this really shapes the physical, what's going on in your life, actions and advice for this week. Because we're going through some heavy stuff. Okay. Pluto retrograde, spirit, advice, and action. 2, 3. So we're completing something, because at the end of the deck, or at the bottom of the deck, we have the World card. That's completion. It's not just completion, it's graduation of a cycle. We had a lot of 10s, and we've been getting a lot of 10s in the divine masculine and divine feminine reads for the past week. And it has to deal with the completion of a wish of some kind. That's the basis of this week. Completing out a wish, graduating from a wish, something that you wanted to do. 3 of Wands upside down, center energy, needing to go down the path. Now, for some of you, you may be waiting on some sort of something to come in, and that's why you're not necessarily walking down it right now. There's something that has to come in. And I think that's why when we were talking about the spiritual messages with the energy of Pluto, and we were talking about the intuition, but mainly in the spiritual messages, we talked about in the near future with that Ace of Wands or that Ace of Fire upside down, not to start something. But you don't want to start it, because what I'm getting here, because now we're connecting with that energy again. Um, there's something that has to come in. There's another piece. Like, you may have some resources and you may have enough where you feel like you can go, you can move forward on something, but really you need to take a step back, because there's something else coming in that's going to help propel you forward to the point where you're going to reach that success. Especially if you're starting a business or something, there's another piece coming in. Now, in the past, we have the Son of Wands with the Chariot. You've moved with passion. You've moved very passionately, very strongly. You're a force to be reckoned with. I will admit that, because we've got Chariot once again. Mentally, you know this. You know what I mean? Emotionally, you're still kind of connecting with this, like emotionally, like feeling it, like having that emotional confidence in yourself. You're still kind of building on that, but you're starting on that now so that you can be balanced in your actions and your mind and your emotions, so that you can really, really go even stronger. But in the past, there was a lot of forward movement, moving passionately, moving strong towards a goal, and fast. Thing about that is, now we're at the Strength upside down. You may have worn yourself out a little bit going so strong on something, right? There's Strength upside down. You may need to take a little bit of a break, as far as not necessarily take a break, be in bed all day, you know what I mean? But maybe you may need to do a little bit of self-care, do some gardening, take some baths, read a book. Make sure that you're balancing stuff out, because the way that you move forward. Now, some people, when they go after a goal, they don't necessarily go so hard that they use up all of their energy, right? But whoever I'm reading for, they go so hard at a goal that they literally don't have any more energy afterwards. And when I say any more energy, like, can you even put a foot in front of the other, almost, right? You may be working so hard that you fall asleep in the middle of it, because you just don't have any more energy. Or you could be pushing that, pushing that level. It's very fast, very hot, very passionate. Fire energy, you want to balance out, because you can use our fire energy is good at the beginning, but then it kind of fades out. And with fire, you have to even it out. The best way to go is to even out that energy. So you are going to want to kind of make sure you take your down times, make sure you balance things out, try to make a schedule of some kind with whatever it is that you're working on, whether, especially if it's business. Now, if this is far as relationships, because this is not very specific, it's a collective reading, but it's whatever you're wishing for. It's coming to a completion here. Whatever you've been praying about, whatever you've been going after, you're about to get it. But you need to balance out yourself, your needs, yourself. Now, in the near future, we have the Two of Cups. This is relationship. There's a relationship that is going to need your attention. This is the break, okay? So whatever that you were working on now, or I'm sorry, not now, in the recent past, so let's say about maybe like the past month, even past week, but let's say about the past month, there's something coming in for that. Take a break and then focus on, there's a brief focus on a certain relationship. So especially if you have a business, or if it's work, or it could even be if you have kids and you're focused on them in sports or something, whatever this is, taking a little bit of a break to focus on a relationship that needs more attention. This can be your romantic partner. This can be your friend. This can be your pet. You know what I mean? But whatever kind of didn't have a lot of attention the past month, make sure in the near future to bring some more attention to that. That's the advice. And ultimately, we have the High Priestess and we have the Six of Cups upside down. There's a lot. And then ultimately, what happens is there's a lot of hidden messages that you get about this Six of Cups energy, Six of Cups upside down energy, something from your childhood, something from your past, something from your childhood or early adulthood. So 20s, 30s, if it applies, but something about that. Okay. Because that's the whole focus, is looking at something in the past this week when it comes to some sort of relationship, and something happened in that relationship where you could no longer communicate with whoever it was that you were very close to. And it has, I'm feeling family member. It could be a past relationship that was a significant relationship. It could be with your children, your cousins, a really good friend, whatever it is. But in your childhood or early adulthood, there was a break in that relationship. And you're going to need your energy to get all of these messages. There's something that, whatever it was, if it's the other side of the story that you didn't know, there's information that you didn't know about that breakup that you guys need to communicate and come to closure with this. And that is the impact of Pluto going retrograde during Mercury retrograde. And this is going to apply for this week. So next week on Monday, Tuesday, we'll do another reading on this as far as the second week going into Pluto retrograde, and finishing out this energy and seeing how that's going to apply. But for now, I would love for if you could like the video, subscribe. That would be great. Make some comments. And I will see you in a little bit when I do the Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine reading. Okay? Bye-bye.